Katie Price has named the British TV star she claimed raped her more than 20 years ago. She made the revelation during an appearance of An Evening with Katie Price and Kerry Katona on Tuesday night. According to The Sun, Katie, 47, drew gasps from the crowd when she named her alleged attacker. The mother of 5 had always maintained that she wouldn't reveal who he was, but last year, she admitted she had changed her mind and would divulge in time. Katie had made plans to reveal the name in a new book, after the Me Too movement encouraged her to speak out. A source told The Sun at the time, Katie thinks she has nothing to lose. After all the Me Too stuff, she thinks if other people have revealed their sex attackers, why can't I? A spokesperson for Katie Price has declined to comment to the Daily Mail. Katie first discussed the alleged rape in an OK! Magazine column in 2009. Her words came in response to allegations that her then-partner Alex Reid had starred in a film which glorified rape. She said, "Rape is a subject very close to my own heart. I was raped when I was younger, more than once. I'd never be associated with anything or anyone so sick. I've never talked about this before, but I feel I have to now because I was so hurt by these accusations that I would not take a subject, which affects so many women, seriously. I urge any woman who has been affected by rape and needs help to talk to somebody they trust about it." In 2022, Katie said in her harrowing documentary Trauma and Me that she had been raped again during a horrifying carjacking in South Africa in 2018. She recalled the terrifying ordeal which saw her held at gunpoint during filming for her Quest Red reality show, My Crazy Life with ITV. She detailed the traumatic events that led her to reach breaking point, suffering a mental breakdown in 2018, and a failed suicide attempt where she knocked herself out and had black eyes, after which she sought treatment for PTSD. Katie spoke about her triggers and suffering in the lead-up to the crash. She told the Daily Mail, "The experience when I was filming with ITV in South Africa, we had no security. If we had security, they would have been able to deal with the 6 guys that jumped us, held me at gunpoint and raped me." Katie was thrown out of the vehicle by the attackers during her journey from Johannesburg to Swaziland in 2-people carriers with the production crew. The vehicles were ransacked of laptops, iPads, passports, cash and jewelry, but the robbers left behind a fortune in camera gear which the crew had stored on board. The attackers were never apprehended. She also discussed the rape during an episode of Channel 4's SAS, Celebrity Who Dares Wins in 2020, where she said, "Police said it was a miracle they didn't kill us." During her Channel 4 show Trauma and Me, she revealed, "I hit severe depression a couple of years ago, depression on top of PTSD, I was suicidal, didn't want to be here. I tried to kill myself. I knocked myself out and had black eyes. I had bruises around my neck. I woke up. I didn't want to be here. Her stays at the Priory Rehab Clinic have been to treat her post-traumatic stress disorder, as she also added that through therapy she has learnt to deal with her past and recognize what triggers her. Katie detailed, I have had my eyes opened about a lot. When you go in the Priory, people assume that it must be for drinks or drugs. I have never ever been in the Priory for drink, drugs or addiction. I have been in the Priory for trauma rehabilitation for PTSD. She continued, because of what people believe, it affects me. There is a stigma that if you go in the Priory, you are a wrong one, but that's not true. I think people who go in there are brave because they are facing their demons and whatever their problems are to make themselves a better person. Mental health. It doesn't matter how big or how small they might seem, if it's big to someone then it's big to them. It's just different. Anything can happen. Speaking about the dark place she experienced with her mental health at the time of her horrific drink-drive crash in 2021, Katie explained, I live in the countryside, I had no outlet, I needed to talk to someone and that night I let myself down. I am not justifying anything, there was a reason why I got in the car and why my head was like that. Unfortunately, I did get into that place. I would never get into that place again. It happened and it's real, but I have learnt. The former glamour model, who still goes to therapy, said, I have therapy each week, but I wish I would have done this years ago. It would have stopped a lot of things that I might have said or reacted to. I have to accept certain situations, and not bite back to anything anymore. It's hard for me to say because I don't want to sound bitter and I am not bitter. I speak to my therapist now about my situations. Katie continued, I feel like I have to protect myself. I don't put anything on Instagram anymore. I don't need to justify myself anymore. I don't owe anything to anyone. I don't go on Instagram anymore and say, well, this is wrong. It crosses my mind and then I count down, and by the time I am at 0, I am just like, oh, forget it. I feel better and I feel stronger for that. I don't need to rectify or prove anything to anyone. I know the truth. I have grown up. In her documentary, Katie discusses what caused her mental health to deteriorate and the steps that she is taking in her recovery. There's a lot in the program, but there is a hell of a lot I haven't put in there. It's only 45 minutes, but there is enough to know that I have been suffering, she said. Katie suffered further torment when she was sexually assaulted with 2 friends when she was 6. Speaking to Piers Morgan, she described how a man lured them into bushes as they played in a park, before offering to buy them an ice cream if they let him touch them.